I welcome you all to this amazing learning session that we conduct on every Friday. My name is Shruti. I'm one of the sales specialists at Protos Professional Training. So before we start, let me give you a quick overview about us. ProTouch is a certification institute which provides upskilling courses to the professionals like HR generalists, HR analytics advanced certification program, POSH, train the training to deliver POSH trainings, business analytics or manager certification, corporate trainer and facilitator certification, certified practitioner coach, and emotional intelligence trainer and coach certification. We also provide customized programs. So all the programs are accredited by the topmost bodies like ICF, SHRM, HRCI, CPD, and IBEC. I'm so glad to see many existing students, team members, and aspiring students of ProTouch who have joined this amazing learning session. So I would like to ask from the audience, how is the weather at your current location? You can please put it in the chat box. You can share, you can write it down in the chat box also. So that because at present I am from Gurgaon, so it's something around 33 degrees Celsius outside the country, outside my office building. So
It's same here in
Same,
Hyderabad.
pretty same.
great. Nice to know from
I'm
you.
also from Delhi, and the weather would be too hot here.
Yes, exactly.
Like
Sujit
32,
yes.
33
Nice,
degrees.
nice to know from you, Nishant. Sujit has mentioned severe hot heat wave, orange warming in Orissa. I can totally relate. Okay, Mr. Kumar has mentioned too hot at Kolkata, Komal a bit hot. Okay. All right. Anushka has mentioned sunny, hot, humid, and hot in Mumbai. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your, temperature or the weather forecast. So let's now begin our learning session with Agnes, Dinesh, and Risha, our guest speakers of today's morning. I would like to take a moment to introduce everyone with our today's guest speakers, Agnes, who is an artist at heart, holding a diploma in visual arts, a B.Ed, and has a degree in psychology. She has displayed and sold her art in more than 50 plus exhibitions in India and abroad. She hails from a defense family and has over 15 plus years of experience, varied experiences. She has been a corporate and a soft skill trainer for the past 5 years and delivered over 5,000 hours of successful training. She continues to follow her passion in art as an independent artist. Coming to Dinesh Kumar's profile, Dinesh ji is a passionate and continuous learner, a certified Lean Six Sigma black belt, and a corporate trainer holding a rich experience of more than 24 years in operations, people management, and varied process and transformative training, catering to MNCs and last but not the least, Risha is a talent management professional with 12 plus years of experience in clients, diversity and change management, leadership development and process designing and compliances training in both agency and in-house setting across the industries. It's an honor to have Agnes, Dinesh, and Risha with us today morning. Over to you, Dinesh ji.
Yeah. Hello, and thank you, Preeti, for such a nice and wonderful introduction for all three of us. And together as a team, we are just welcoming everyone who is present here. And despite being hot and humid weather, I think and I'm hoping that this session would bring some kind of a coolness and that environment in you that you'll feel very, very relaxed. Okay. And thank you for sparing that time on a Friday morning. And we are good and lucky enough to have you as participants here. And by now, you must be aware of a little bit what we are going to talk about today. Anyone? What's the topic for today?
Self-love
Yeah,
and
you.
self-acceptance.
Sense of
Yes.
self-love.
Very good. So you know about what self-love and self-acceptance, right? So we all together will be taking you to a journey which is inwards, inside. So you'll be just taking a glimpse of what self-love and self-acceptance is. And we are here to just go through that journey together. And the journey begins right now. And before we start this, now I would want all of you with this music, just shake your hand, just like this. Just rub your hands, clap for yourself, clap, 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 right, left, yes, yes. Enjoy, enjoy. Hug yourself as tightly as you can. Hug yourself, hug yourself. You are special, you are special. Yes, come on. Move around, whatever way you feel. Yes, yes, I see. Everyone. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yep. So we are getting ready to deep dive into this journey. And yes, this is self-love. So you have given a tight hug to yourself. So this is the expression of self-love. So you love yourself. So you have given that kind of a hug. Okay, so what does this self-love or self-acceptance mean? Anybody who wants to answer this can raise your hand, or else you can just put it in the chat box as well. What is self-love? Anyone? Any hand raises?
Yeah,
Impromptu?
I think self-love means when you accept yourself fully and you treat yourself with kindness, respect. Okay, just the same way you will do to others. That is self-love.
Perfect. Makes sense. Anybody else?
I think accepting yourself with all your flaws and all your, whatever it is, and I guess that is it.
Yes, and
Accept
it's
yourself
it's
the
it's
way
it's,
it is.
it's apt. And someone has written in the chat, मैं अपनी favorite हूँ, right? And this is Preeti. And yeah, Preeti. So this is the essence. So um, anyone who remembers this dialogue from which movie? मैं अपनी favorite हूँ.
But
We met.
We met.
Yeah, we met.
So now we have met
Yeah.
here to understand it a little more deeper. Okay, so self-love, it is an individual's satisfaction, its own happiness with oneself, which you don't find outside. It's within you, and it is necessary for your mental health, apart from physical health, right? Then we have a self-understanding, a realistic approach, and awareness. And that awareness is a realization of where we stand, where we are, what we do, what we can do. So we have to accept that also. We have to, just someone said very easily, and it also says, and other person also said that yes, you accept yourself with flaws. So that is the flaws. So you have to accept that. And then there is something which is unique about yourself. So that is also comes under self-love and self-acceptance. And I would like to you to just drop in the chat box, what is something that is unique in you? One thing which comes first to your mind when you say I am unique. So just in the chat box, just flood the chat box with your answers. And if one wants to say something, oh wow. So we are receiving these things. Yes. Empathy, self-acceptance. Okay, great. All right. Caring, self-control, kindness, honesty, humble, confidence, positive attitude. Very good. I think so. We have a very sensible audience here who knows what self-love and self-acceptance is. But yes, with this, all these self-love and self-acceptance, when you understand these things, and when you know that your uniqueness, that you are humble, you are kind, and everything. So, do you feel that you have a crown on your head, something, a kind of a shine, a kind of a bright star which is shining, and a halo around your hair? No? Or yes? If not, so this is the same quote which Preeti has mentioned. I'm my biggest fan. I'm my favorite, right? So this is the same thing which comes up again. And now I would like that if you have realized that much, now you'll be shining. So what does shine means? Self-compassion. And then we have H, which stands for honoring. I, which is something individual. It is you, individuality. Then N, which is nurturing. So you do nurture your plants, your family, everyone, but do you nurture yourself? So nurturing is very important aspect of that. And then comes E, which is empowerment. So when you accept yourself with all those flaws, you shine like a bright star. And in the very, very nice word quoted by Maya Angelou, nothing can dim the light that shines from within. So this is very important. You just have to keep your bulbs on every time. Shine like a star. You are a star. So you don't have to ask someone to give you that label that you are a star. All right. All right. So guys, how did you like the topic? How do you relate this topic to yourself? Any inputs? Anyone can say, yeah, unmute yourself and want to share something? Okay, great. Yes.
So, if I can just share, Dinesh,
Yeah,
that's
Rohit.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I,
sure.
so I just say that yes, it's a very apt and an appropriate topic because it is the fundamental and the foundation for all of us human beings to not just be happy but become successful in life. So I think this is the foundational pillar, very, very important. And unless you are, self-loving and self-accepting, you really can't go places anywhere in life. So just wanted to add that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing that we are trying to drive out here and bring it out. And if you have not still started on that journey, this is the journey inwards. That is the whole topic about. So, I think everyone is now prepped up, but I'm still seeing the faces who are just understanding it. Smile a bit for you. Just smile, smile. Just set those curves to set the things right. Smile, smile, smile. Yes, now it's looking much better. Everyone's smiling. See, just don't care of anything else. It's just the smile which matters the most. All right. And now, I'm just going to narrate a small story. And are you interested to hear about the story? Yes, thumbs up. If you say yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, right, a small story. And after the story, do tell me if you related with something yourself, others, or something else, maybe. Okay. So, coming up with that. This is a story which is titled as Forgotten Dreams. And it's a story of a girl named Madhavi, a young girl, a very talented singer and a trained classical dancer. She was grown up in a village, a township, and she was very happy, very chirpy. Her smile was contagious. She looks at others, she smiles, and she's carefree. And at a very young age, what happened? There was a change in her life. She got married and she got married to a very rich family. They were very westernized, very modern. They were settled in the city, in the posh area. So people were like, they don't understand what village life is and all those. They have their own visualization of the world, speaking in English, doing parties, all those stuff which happens. You can relate to it, right? What happens? Even the people who are in Delhi, so they must be like South Delhi is something else, East Delhi is something else. So there are some kind of perceived notions, right? So Madhvi was there and she was very happy that she is going to a big town now, not the town, but a city. And she realized that she has to do a lot for her family, her husband, her old in-laws, and she was doing all the best for themselves, to make them happy, the people around her. She started finding the happiness. If they are happy, so she is. She stopped working on her singing practice, her dancing. She has just left everything there. And she had in future course of time, they were like, they had children, and they were also like, that's okay. But then there was a time when her husband was taking care of her and everything, but now he was feeling a little uncomfortable sometimes taking her out because she can't speak English. She can't wear those Western dresses. Does it happen with you sometimes when you feel uncomfortable doing something? Yes or no? Please drop in the chat box. Okay. And then even the children. So she was just running pillar to post to please everyone and make happy others. But she was just doing the daily chores and everything. And the children were like, uh, Mom, you won't understand. Mummy, aapko samajh nahi aayega. So they don't take her to their friend's place, or even in the PTM, they ask their father to go, not the mother. And she was just feeling like, okay, if my children are happy that way, it's good for me. But one day she was just realizing and just going back to the old days, and she was sitting alone in her room. And what she did was she just switched on the music system, and she heard a very beautiful song which she used to dance earlier in her early days. And you must have heard of that song, Mere Dholna, right? So she loved that song. And what she did was she started dancing there in the room alone by herself. She was not caring what she's wearing and whatever the thing is. And she was dancing like anything. She didn't even notice that there were people who from the family who were just seeing her there. And her kids have never seen her like dancing. Even her husband didn't know that, because Madhvi, she has not that getting that courage to tell that she dances so well. And once the music stopped and she just was lying on the floor, everyone started clapping for her. So you know what happened? Can you tell? Can you relate now? What was that one thing here which happened? Which changed something?
Realization.
Yeah, yeah. So anybody, should I ask someone randomly? So Janvi Mishra. Janvi, you there? Unmute if you can. Okay. Anybody else? Rohit, Sujit?
Yeah, Dinesh, that was the real inner voice actually. For example, suppose from the childhood I am dancing.
Mm-hmm.
In between, I left dance.
Yeah.
So when grow older in my 42s and 43s, again in one of my son's one birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
So his friend told me, "Uncle, please dance."
Right.
So then I started a bit dance. So that inner voice again rose, and I continued dancing from that day again, and I am doing it every day, and I am very, very happy. Very, very happy.
So you realized yourself something ignited in yourself, right? So that's the same thing which ignited in Madhvi. And she
So I
was
can
not the old. Yeah, Rohit, please go ahead.
Sorry, I was just waiting for Sujit to finish. So,
Yeah.
of course, I think what happened here, Dinesh, is very clearly that all these years she was ignoring herself.
Right.
And, she was only caught up with the responsibilities of the family, children, husband, in-laws, and people around her, pleasing everybody else, but not looking after herself the way she was looking after others. And I think there came a tipping point where she's like, to hell with everything. And for once, after years, I want to do something which I enjoy doing and not to please others. And I think she kind of, just let down that veil and that, so as you say, mask.
You're
And she
right.
just kind of freely danced as if there was nobody there. So I think that's what happened.
Yes. Yes. So that's actually what we want to showcase here, that you have to unveil yourself, the fears that you have, or maybe you care for others. And I'm not saying that you should stop caring for others who care for you or who are with you, your family, your friends, but you need to take some time out for yourself, your me time. This is you. You don't have to sacrifice every time, because you have to start loving and improving yourself rather than proving yourself. So Madhvi was proving herself that she's a good wife, good mother, whatever good she is, but she was not loving herself. So that was missing. So that missing element she brought when she danced, and the others now applauded, and others have now started accepting her. And now she has raised to that point. And now, do you want to know what actually happens with Madhvi? So to unmute, want you all to unmute yourself for a bit and tell us like what you feel. So whosoever is feeling comfortable, just go ahead with that.
Do you
How's
resonate with Madhvi's thoughts, her feeling, a new feeling?
It's actually relatable.
Yeah.
relatable?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I also
Very
think
much.
that many women, I mean, I think most women go through this phase that you just showed in
Yeah.
some time in their life, you know. I think if not only women, I think men also, they
Yeah.
just come to realize that, oh, this is what I can do. And then, you know, just cling on to it and say, okay, and then you're kind of born again when the realization happens.
Exactly. Exactly. And you see that the video which
I
tells.
haven't met any person.
Yeah, Disha.
Yeah, Dinesh, I just wanted to say I haven't met any person, in fact, who can't relate to this. So
Yeah.
everybody has gone through somewhere.
So maybe
that
maybe
life.
you're
Everybody
right
has.
now you're not recollecting all those thoughts, but yeah, in your memories, you have these things where you have sacrificed something, where you have lost something, and then it is the self-realization came after so many years. That's why we are here. Agnes is here. Even I am in my 47 and I am here. So this is my passion, which I'm following now. So this happens with everyone, irrespective of gender, race, anything. So
So
start
guys,
loving yourself, and this is
Dinesh, for a moment, I also started dancing along with this song. It was like you are into it. It
so
makes
that's
us feel,
good.
all of us need that moment. All of the need that kind of a freedom, or it's like you forget everything in your life for a moment, enjoy that, live it is what each one of us want. It is not women, men, boys, girls. It's not about the age or the factor. Each one of us have that kind of a thought process that we should enjoy. This moment is mine. So
Yes.
that's where we realize we are important. We want to be what we are. It was really good.
Okay, so if you all
Dinesh,
resonate, yes, Sujit.
yeah, just a minute. So I interfere.
No,
So
no.
actually, when I teach the students, the same thing I tell them always, because I have realized in my life. So I always tell them to each and every student. Suppose a student study is okay, no problem. It should be there. Parents are, I mean, they have aspirations. So you will read, but don't leave your hobby. Suppose you are doing I mean, very good painters. Some students are very good painters. Some students are very good dancers. But I have seen them when they are reaching their 10th, I mean, matriculations and +2, when they are in graduations, they enter in the professionals and they do the job. They forget their hobbies, painting, dancing, etc. Everything they forget. And when after a busy life, when so busy there and they are, I mean, a bit, I mean, like this situation, I'm talking about Madhvi's situation. Suddenly, one day they will realize, oh, I have left that. So if they would have been continued from that years, so their happiness will be continued with them only.
That's perfect.
Totally agree with you, Sujit. Thank you so much for all the insights that you guys are sharing. It is amazing. So now it's time to delve into the topic that's both universal and deeply personal to each one of us, and that is self-love. And we have heard from all of you what self-love means to you. It's time to now listen to a video by this famous speaker and motivator lady named Muniba Muzari. That's her name, right? So, guys, resonate with you. What do you think? Anyone? Would you like to share, please?
I want to tell something that I
Yes.
always believe that you need some time for your own self. And I
Yes.
always tell to others, every day, at least 15-20 minutes, you spend with your own self. You will find a new person. You will find a new person every day, and you will like to love him or her.
Yes. Yes, so thank you so much, Subhashji, for that insight. We are going to talk about that also a little further into our webinar. So, what we understand is that you are all you have for yourself. So, you have to not be scared of your thoughts, stop criticizing yourself, be positive, and take charge of yourself because nobody else matters. It's what you think that really matters. So, let me place before you some facts and figures like you already see on the screen. So we see that 89% of people believe that self-compassion is a necessary aspect of self-love. Okay. And look at this, 1 in 3 people actually that believe they struggle with self-acceptance and self-love. And I'm sure that many of us can resonate with it. I can tell you, I have struggled a lot. And 85% of people worldwide have low self-esteem. It takes a lot of effort for them to creep up and be more self-loving, self-accepting. So you can see the other figures also. Here at this point, I want to share one very important aspect. So this is a kind of a metaphor about a jug. Can you pour out from the jug if it is empty? Can you give love if it is empty, there's nothing in it? What do you do? Tell me. Can any one of you please share what you think, what can be done? So, to pour out, to love other people, what do you need? Anyone, please?
You need to pour the jug with love first in order to share with others.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. So, you need to fill your own jug with self-love, with appreciation for your own self, so that you can share your self-love with the others. Right, guys? I hope you agreed. So please put a thumbs up in the chat box, all of you. Let's see that you are in agreement. Yes. So I hope there's an overwhelming response coming out there, everyone. So let me go to the next slide. Here we are looking at how comfortable are you. Look at this image. It has a smiling face and it has a drooping face. What do you think? What face do you have today? Would anyone like to share? How do you feel today?
Smiling.
Smiling? Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So guys, you need to change that face. You look into the mirror in the morning. Will you frown at you first thing in the morning? No. Smile at yourself, accept yourself, and you say that today I feel my best self, right? But in spite of that, see, this is something I practice in the morning. I get up, I go to the bathroom, I look at myself in the mirror, and I smile and say, every day, every moment, I'm getting better and better. And trust me, it helps me a lot. So now we have looked at this survey where around 2,000 plus people were interviewed. And they were asked about how comfortable are you talking about your self-esteem. Now you will be surprised over here that it is just less than 25% of people who are really comfortable. Okay. So tell me now, what do you think self-esteem, how does self-esteem influence your thoughts and behaviors? Can you recall a time when you struggled with self-acceptance? So the stage is open. Can we hear some sharing, some instances from your lives?
Anybody who wants to
Anybody
share
would like to
his or
share?
her story with their self-esteem when they're feeling really low in the life, and suddenly a spark happened and you have realized that yes, this is not me, this is not real me, I have to fight it back.
You can share in the chat box also.
Okay,
ahead.
so I can just really tell that one thing. I don't know how many of you know Punjabi, but there is a common saying or a meme which is very viral sometimes, and if you see these two figure, the placards with a happy and a sad face, ਹੱਸਦੇ ਚਿਹਰੇ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ. So what does it mean? It means that all smiling faces doesn't mean that they are happy inside. So there is a sadness behind that smile also. So some people do fake smile also. So you don't have to do that.
So if I can just add to what you just said, Dinesh, maybe slightly different perspective, because my
Absolutely.
take on that is also that you fake it till you make it, because a lot of times circumstances are such which pull you down, and you do feel very, you do feel very down and out. You don't feel very happy at the first go. So like when Agnes, when you were sharing about every morning going in front of the mirror and smiling, I'll share my example that there are a lot of times when I get up with a frown because I'm not feeling happy or I'm in pain or whatever the reason could be. But I go to the mirror or I don't go to the mirror, but I change my energy in few seconds or few minutes, and then I become a happy self, and then I kind of start my day. So it's not necessary that we are all imperfect. None of us is perfect here. So we all do have a lot of negativity in us, which we have to constantly on a day-to-day basis get rid of. So it is absolutely okay if you're not smiling when you wake up and you feel miserable for whatever reason. But but to change from that miserable state to that happy state is your job and your responsibility.
So that is a very, very good insight. And thank you, Rohit, for that. And yes, I totally agree with you. And even if I start telling my story, it will take like a whole day from where I come from and where I am right now sitting. So the thing is that we all have to relate to what we are. We have to accept ourselves with all the flaws, with all the things. And we have to accept that we have done an error. It's we are humans. We are tend to make those errors. If we won't make an error, it means we are doing nothing at all. So our errors are our best teachers, and they make us best understand what is happening around us. It's nobody else would come up and tell us. They'll just make a fun of you. So
Thank
rather
you.
than
Thank
just
you.
yeah.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you for that insight. So, guys, I'm sure that you're all resonating and thinking together of how much now that probably you love yourself a little more than before, right? Can I get a big head shake? Yes, guys? Wow, thank you so much for that response. So now it's time to move on to our next speaker, Risha. So Risha has got a little bit of a story to tell us and take us through some more insights and thoughts on self-acceptance. So Risha, over to you. Risha,
I'm really sorry, I was just on mute. Thank you, Agnes. And good morning, everyone. This is Risha Parashar. Well, I believe we have been testing our right brain from quite a while. So it's time to give a little spin to the left one. So, well, as wonderfully explained by Dinesh and Agnes on self-love and acceptance, this is a time to give a go to science-backed theory, which I'm here for. So before we get into the details, I have a question for you. Can anyone tell me your favorite thing or activity as a kid, which you love doing, but you aren't able to do now because of your personal or professional engagements? Or let's say sometimes when you even have a time, you won't do it as it might look like you are too adult to do such activity, or you are surrounded with the thoughts like what people will say, or let's say in Hindi, log kya kahenge. Anybody? Let me start with mine. I used to love gardening with my grandpa back in school days. So anybody else, please? Yeah, Richa, please.
I saw
taking care of the street animals.
Okay.
Wow. Sorry, I could not hear you. Can you please repeat?
I used to take care of the street animals when I was a kid. So I used to roam in the streets and take care of them.
That's lovely. Do you do it now? Yet?
Yeah, sometimes, but not that much. I actually think log kya kahenge, because people have been saying that to me, that you entertain them and then they don't go away from our neighborhood. So that is what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. We are almost surrounded by, we all are in fact surrounded by such people. In fact, some or the other time we keep on hearing this. Anybody else?
Yeah, I used to play football a lot earlier, but now I don't get much time to play.
What was the last time you played?
I think when I was in college, I was in my college team, so that was the last time I played football.
So now you don't do it because what people think, or you don't have
No,
time?
I don't have time. That's the main reason.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
No,
We all
actually,
have.
you have time, but you are not managing. You have time. On your holidays, you can always play football. I really like, but I am not a football player. I never, I don't like that. But whoever play, I always like that they should continue that, even on the holiday. To my son also, I always tell, play football whenever you get chance. But chance you have to create.
Yeah, I'll try my best, Sushant.
No,
You know,
on
I'm
holidays
caught up
you
with
have to
other works.
from now you have to promise that yes, I will play football on holiday.
Yeah, okay. I promise you that I'll play
Yeah.
football on my
Then
days
only
off.
your self-love will be completed.
Right. Yeah, I'll try my best. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then you have
so
to,
much for
and
that
then
too.
Yash, you have to chuck day for that. Just playing
Yes.
football, chuck day. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Yash, for sharing. Thank you, Richa,
Thank you,
and
Risha.
thank you, everybody. I will, share one my personal experience. So it's about like around a year or two, not two, I would say that around a year ago, before I was working with this organization, and I was the part of this technical project team. I would say the technical project team management per se. We had about like 60 people in team, 30 technical, and rest comprises of the management, finance, and admin. So what happened one morning when I went to office, I was called for this leadership meet, where it was announced that client has decided to terminate the contract, citing their budget constraint. So, and board has decided to reduce the staff count as they can't afford all the build employees. Neither they had any new project, neither in hand where they could be deployed. Well, with that news, the HR took the lead, and then HR got everybody in the room and broke the news that they are diluting all the tech stuff as organization can't afford them at this point of time. Neither we are foreseeing any new projects where they can be deployed. Although she was giving her own term, her management terms as well, that the company has decided to give them 6 months of severance and the full bonus, and etc. etc. Well, of course, everybody was upset, unhappy. Some were crying, some were asking they don't want severance, just the job. Well, to be honest, well, it was one of the mornings which still give me shakes. So my apologies, everyone, just in case if my words are going here and there, because somehow, I don't know, I still get chills whenever I remind myself of that morning, because it was completely chaotic and it was my team entirely. Fast forward, well, once the news has been broken. Sorry, are you saying something, Bharti? I can't.
Sagar, are you there? Please take care of it.
Okay. So, forward, okay. So once the news broke, well, I have been working with these people for past 2 years, and suddenly I found out that they won't be there anymore, especially with the people or the colleagues you had your lunches with, you had coffee break with. So honestly, I couldn't speak any word which might have helped them easing their pain. So Risha, being Risha, finally left the room, and I went back in my cabin sulking. If I really be honest here, I literally didn't have any courage to say adios to my teammates. To be very honest, if I have to be brutally honest. So I went back in my cabin. I was quietly, I was sobbing, I would say, sulking over there. After around like 10 to 15 minutes, there were three regular of my lunch mates came to my cabin, and they were like, hey, let's have one final lunch together. And we have been looking for you. So don't know how, but I broke down. It's something like, you have been holding it in for quite a while, and it bursted like that just by their voice. So I don't remember exactly what I said, but I remember I was blabbering like anything. So few words I can recall, like, I'm really sorry. I don't know what else I could do. We don't have any project right now, but anything comes up, I'll be the first person to fill you in. I guess I kept on rambling. Something I can recall, not exact the words, but this is what I can make out of it.
Good one.
Anyways, after this, out of those 3 of my colleagues who were in my cabin, there was this guy named Rahul Bakshi. By the way, to introduce him, he was the technical director of the project, senior most of the team. So he was just like, hey, you know, Risha, I came here to say thank you. And I was just like, you were there in that room, right? He said, yes. And he was just like, you have no idea what favor you have done for me. And I am like, you need some water. Literally, I said that you need some water because I thought probably he didn't get the message. Then very calmly, very composed, he continued, you know, Risha, I was planning to quit from past 5 years. And I couldn't do it because I was so scared and insecure of the fact that if I quit the job right now, considering my age, will I be able to get any other? Would I be able to take care of my family with the luxuries what I have now? I have been in this constant loop from past 5 years, literally. Then he continued like, you know, do you remember I keep talking about my Malvan trip and my obsession with diving? He said, yeah, we spoke almost on all the lunch breaks. Then he said, what I didn't tell you that I bought a house by beach 5 years before, which we call our holiday home now. Since then, me and my wife wants to move and start our lives there. We know, you know, she is a chef. Always wanted to open her restaurant, you know, but, you know, there's no way we can afford, you know, a restaurant in Mumbai. And we had literally been talking about our plans on how she will start with a shack in Malvan and I would try my luck in professional diving and might start as a dive instructor. But then every morning we come back to the reality, built in fear and insecurity, and we continue to live this way. You know, today morning when the news broke, I called my wife and, you know, her first response was, so finally we are moving to Malvan. And not just that, she's literally going to put down her papers tomorrow. Well, you know, it is going to be same. It is not going to be same for everyone, but for me, it's a blessing in disguise. It's that nudge I needed to finally live for myself. So honestly, Risha, otherwise I could have never have gathered the courage to leave. So with this, he continued, and there are a couple of more words I can add, but I think we are running short of time. So it was a long conversation. So that's how, all I wanted to say that this is the one event I always remember, an event of adversity. In that, I call it like the calm in the chaos. I wanted to share this piece with all of you, and I'm sure all of us has been through many adverse situations and learned to find ourselves in case of these uncertainties. So with this, I welcome you all to share you or your friends or your colleagues or your loved ones' experiences or journey of finding those silver linings in face of adversity. So anybody, if you want to share anything about any of the situation you have been through or your loved ones, please feel free to. Okay. So with this, without delaying any further, let's, because we are already at 11:47, so I'm really sorry, guys, if I am cutting it a little short. Otherwise, I can go on and on the story. So with this, we are actually going to the theory. I'm sure most of us has heard about the Maslow's theory. Can I hear from anyone if yes or no in the chat box?
It's a need hierarchy theory which every person has in their life, like psychological needs.
Yeah. The hierarchy of needs, basically. Okay, so I can see that there are people as well who haven't heard, known about this. So the one who haven't heard, basically, Maslow was, Abraham Maslow, sorry, was a thinker, a philosopher. In 1943, he introduced a theory on how human behavior is impacted and how it can be categorized in 5 stages. So he proposed that human needs can be arranged in a hierarchical order, with basic needs to the bottom and higher needs at the top. So with this, let's get to the orders. And I have some questions. In fact, I just need yes or no in the chat box. And of course, you can unmute yourself and give your inputs as well. So the first order here is we have a physiological order. Thank you so much, Agnes. Actually, I was not able to see it yet. So yeah, so physiological order. So can anyone tell me in the above story of Rahul Bakshi if the physiological needs of Rahul has been met? Just write yes or no. Okay, because it's a very basic need for any human being on the planet. Let's say it's a breathing, food, water, shelter, clothing, sleep. Yes.
So yes, so many people are flooding up with the yeses, so they understand that concept.
Okay. All right. So with this, let's move to the second one, which is security and safety. So can anyone explain what is security stage for Rahul Bakshi? Was it accomplished for him? So by the way, from the safety and security means that health, employment, property, what he had, in fact, back in, Malvan, he has a family, he had a job for good 20 years. Yes, Sujit, you're saying something. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, his job and home are the security, options for him.
Yes. So basically, it's again a blue check for Rahul. Now let's move to the third stage, which is love and belongingness. Can someone explain what does it mean for Rahul? Well, basically, love and belonging is the friendship, family, intimacy, sense of connection, where by the story, what I can say that he has an amazing partner where both of their ambitions were aligned. On the other hand, he has the children who has been already doing their job, the parents, everybody. In fact, all the family and the love and belonging has been checked over here. Yes. Thank you, Utkarsh. The next we move to the fourth stage, that is self-esteem. As we already learned from Agnes' slide on this, what is self-esteem here for Rahul? If anybody can tell me, has that built already? Okay. So I know I have cut the story short, but actually for me, by the story for Rahul Bakshi, the self-esteem is that he already has a status of being a technical director with one of the MNC working for 20 years. He already have a team. He has that kind of confidence where he can pursue the projects independently. So that's a one way, the self-confidence, basically, I meant by that. And he has the respect of, okay, all right, sorry. Respect for the team as well. Yes. Thanks, Poonam. Okay, so with this, we are going to the top of the pyramid, which is called the self-actualization, basically, which is our main topic, to be honest, which I was supposed to discuss. So with the can anyone tell me what is the did Rahul get, sorry, I'm just rephrasing otherwise. Did Rahul get the self-actualization in the final stage in this story?
I think yes, Risha.
Yes, he has got. Yes, he has got.
What was his self-actualization?
It was that he wanted to, do that diving thing for so long, and finally got to do that.
He got the chance to do that. Finally, he's moving to a place where he always wanted to be. And he is willing to make that as a permanent home instead of staying at the hustle bustle of Mumbai. Yeah, thank you so much, Yash. All right, so with this, thank you everyone for sharing your experiences. I would like to add one thing over here about the self-actualization, basically, that we often tend to associate self-actualization with fame, fortune, success. But in reality, that is not true. It can be any small thing, like literally any small thing, as small as knitting. By the way, I have one question to ask. I'm sure everybody knows Bill Gates, a billionaire, a philanthropist, a tech pioneer. Does anyone know what is that one thing that makes him feel loved? And no matter how overwhelming days are, he will always take that small chunk of time to do it every day. Can anyone tell me?
Reading,
Other
I
than
guess.
Sorry?
Reading, I guess.
No?
Come up with some different thoughts, please.
Think of it. Think of it.
Can you just mention the name of the
Yeah, he
person?
loves to read, so I
My
thought
friend,
that's the answer.
that's a knitting. That's a knitting.
Yeah.
Does
Thank you.
anyone know that?
Yes.
Okay. He
So
mentioned,
actually,
he mentioned
Can you
it
start
once.
your question?
yeah. So actually,
Um,
we are actually running really short of time now. So we will go ahead with what we have quickly. All right. So you can already see that I have presented my screen and it is written there, benefits of self-acceptance. So let me quickly take a few minutes and run you through this. So why is it that you need to accept yourself and what does it do for you? So like I already said before, with my exercise of looking at the mirror every day morning, self-acceptance means I'm fine, I'm doing well, I am absolutely great as I am. Do you agree with me? I'd like a big nod from you. Yes? Yes, that's wonderful. Next is less anxiety. So having less anxiety means feeling calmer and less worried about things. It's like having a peaceful mind instead of a busy mind. And how can you get that? A little bit of meditation. A few minutes of your me time can bring you, reduce your anxiety. Increased self-awareness means you get to know the better of yourself, understand your thoughts a little better, your feelings, your actions. It's like having a clearer picture of who you are and why you need to do the things that you have to do. Better sleep. I'm sure that all of you will agree with me that a good sleep is like a recharge, recharging your battery. You agree or not? Can I see that head nod, all of you? Yes? Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. So please make sure you get those hours of sleep. It's very, very important. Loving yourself. What does all this lead to? It leads to loving yourself a little more, being a little more kinder, filling your jug with a little more self-love so that you can pour it out to others and spread the love. Having more motivation means, or it is self-esteem. So what does all this do for you? It builds on your self-esteem. It gives you a great foundation that you are ready to face the challenges in life. Now, increased resilience. It makes you bounce back stronger than where you were so that you are ready to face all the challenges and setbacks in life. It's like having a spin in your step that will help you to recover and keep moving forward no matter what life throws at you. So do you guys agree with me on all this? Can we see some yeses flooding our chat box, guys? Yes.
Yes.
So we are left with the final few minutes of the show. And there is a very beautiful video on self-worth, which is just for 1 minute. I'd like to quickly go ahead and play this so that it resonates with all of you. And at the same time, I would like you all to think, what is my self-worth? Shall we go ahead with that? Okay, here we go. So that with that thought, no matter what your value is, may it be a $20 bill or $1,000 or even $2, but your self-worth is paramount. It's bigger than anything, right? Do you agree with me, guys? Yes, can I get a big head nod from all of you?
Thumbs up.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So now we are coming towards the end of our session and we will go to the next part. So Dinesh, you've got some insights for us?
Yes, definitely. So, yes, I hope you all have taken selfies in your life and you do take that, right? So, anyone who has yet not taken a selfie? Yes or no? Okay, I think it's yes for all. So, if someone has not taken it, this is the time. And what selfie is all about, so we'll just know what selfie is all about. So, S in selfie stands for solitude, and it is different from solidarity. Mind it. Solidarity means being alone, and solitude is celebrating yourself alone. Empathy, which you should keep in mind whenever you're working with yourself and with others. Love. We are talking this so much about that you might be knowing about this. F, which tells us that we need that fulfillment in ourselves. Playing football, watching this, watching that, going gardening, spending time with dad, it's all fulfillment. I, which is independence. So apart from all these things, you need to be independent. You have to be self-worth of doing your things independently. You don't have to be dependent on others or others' opinion as well. Then comes E, which is enlightenment. Once you've done all these things, you feel that shine, which we were talking about earlier in our presentation. So this is enlightenment within. And I hope you all are having or carrying your mobile phones right now with yourself. Did you? Do you have it right now? Just switch on the camera and put on a selfie mode and just click a selfie, just like I'm doing here. Just click a selfie here and just keep this as a selfie with you forever, so that you remember that this was the moment when you realize that you have to give your time for yourself and you have to enlighten and shine and bright, right? So this selfie is for you to take as a memoir from our side, from Agnes, Risha, and Dinesh to all of you. And now your journey is
Don't-
beginning.
Yeah, and don't forget to post some of those selfies with a line saying
Yes.
that Sujit loves himself from today. Why not, Sujit? Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
Please share that in our chat boxes and also in our WhatsApp groups so that we can remind each other that yes, we love ourselves. And that brings us to the final part, the parting from for today's seminar, and that is, what do we think about ourselves? So shine from within. Your radiance is your superpower. Yes. Yes. Risha, what about you? Dinesh?
Yeah. So for me, it is I am me. As simple as it.
As someone, I think, dropped in the message box in the group, remarkable Risha, I'll take that. I really loved it.
Wonderful, wonderful. So guys, as we part from you from today's webinar, this particular slide is a reminder for you, for all of you, to love yourself. So let's see some gestures coming. I love myself. So guys, can we see that on the screen? I am unique. I feel good. And I am special. Let's see that coming from all of you.
So at least you can make a heart symbol for yourself.
Or
Love
you can
yourself.
post- Yeah, or you can post some emoji, heart emojis into the meet. Yes. Thank you. Thank all of you for attending this seminar, and at the same time, thank yourselves.
Thank you, everyone, for being
Thank
such a
you.
wonderful participants and
It's
audiences.
Yes, and sorry we've overshot time a little bit, but we'll take a few more minutes if you are okay with it, so that we can we open it to the floor to hear your insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. And I
Thank
hope
you
you
for the
enjoyed the
wonderful-
session.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you guys for the wonderful session.
Thank you all of you. So anyone would like to share their experience or their thoughts, please, we can use a few more minutes, if it's all.
Hi,
Thank-
Agnes, Lakshit
Really
here.
wonderful session.
Yeah, so I was just saying thank you, Agnes, Dinesh, and Risha. It was really nice. And I think it just kind of reinforced my thoughts and our thoughts about us always not just accepting ourselves, but going beyond that and loving ourselves the way we are. Today, statistically, also, you shared some statistics, but especially there's a lot of body shaming that happens. People think about being overweight, underweight, not looking good enough. I think that is one of the major aspects of self-acceptance. And I think all of us need to just understand that we are perfect the way we are. We are unique. You know, we've got 5 fingers. All these fingers are different. They're not the same size. So we need to accept that with all earnesty. And thank you so much. I think it was really nice session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you, Rohit.
Ashwin? Yeah.
Yeah, starting from hugging the music and ending with
that arc and self. It's very amazing. You had very creative thinking, and all you have used many things like videos, stories to convey the message. So congratulations. It was well done. It was interesting.
Thank you, Ashwin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwin.
Hi Agnes, hi Dinesh, hi Risha. I just want to say learning about self-love could be this much fun. I never knew that. And thank you so much for giving some beautiful insights today. And the session was really wonderful. So kudos to three of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashwin.
Yes,
Thanks a lot.
image.
Yeah, hi Agnes, Dinesh and Shreya. First of all, congratulations for Richa, sorry, a lovely session and a lot to learn. And talking about self-love, I think I have gone through that, that phase. And I think it is a never-ending phase because you keep changing every day, you keep discovering yourself, and you need to keep accepting yourself the way you are, It's so, so important. And I have done it. I have done it, but I have realized as I have kept doing it that every day you are a new person. Every day you are a new person and you need to discover yourself and love yourself the way it is because you are going to change in your physical self. You are going to change in your emotional self. You're going to change in different aspects. So, I think every day we need to accept ourselves. And thank you so much for this amazing session.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Valid. Thanks a lot.
Sujit?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Agnes, Dinesh, and Risha. I have written Chak De RDA. So you have done it.
Thank you.
And for me, I'm telling this self-love is very important in all aspects. I mean, even if you go for marketing, even if you go for jobs, even reading, studies, education, wherever, even in kitchen also, everywhere, self-love is definitely, desperately needed. How I'm telling, suppose I don't believe myself, how I can create belief in others? Suppose if I cannot, I am not confident, how can I build confidence in others of me? That's not possible. So first I should love me, I should be confident for me, I should believe in me, then I can create all over the world the same thing. So salute to all three. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, Sujit. Thanks a lot.
Means a lot.
Thank you so
that-
much, all three of you. We will carry that selfies with us in remembrance of that self-love with all of us throughout. Thank you for the wonderful session.
Thank you,
Lalita.
Thanks, Lalita. Thanks.
Okay, everyone. So last few words, I will say that first of all, not only three of you, but I think your entire batch carry that energy. I can see so much support from your batchmates is coming like they are the cheerleaders here. So keep that up. Many batches we have seen, once their internship is done, they go away from it. But your batch is coming, cheerleading, contributing, understanding. I think first of all, a big round of applause for your self-love for your own batch,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Because
Yes,
once we may love also, however, loving our batchmates, being there, अरे आज, Dinesh का है, आज अपने सुजीत का है. I think that is the love this batch has given to each other. Keep that up. Another thing, your energy was very, very contagious. I will say that, when you put that music, I just love that song. मुझ में रब दिख अरे yes, that's a wonderful song that was, and though I was doing something else, but I was dancing on that. Wonderful. One thought which I would just like to give it to you, which you can think about it. Would you like to replace the word of self-acceptance to self-appreciation? Somewhere we feel the acceptance comes with the consequences that you better accept. Suppose, for example, if I'm not great at one thing, okay, maybe I'm not great at, say, numbers. I'd say, I have to accept, Aparna, that you're not great with numbers. But then if I appreciate myself and say, Aparna, you are great with human beings. You might be little challenged with numbers. When I appreciate myself, I think the self-love comes, then the acceptance. So that thought I would like to leave it to, that instead of acceptance, can we be the appreciation? Because acceptance is too hard sometimes, because I've gone through these stages, self-awareness, then you are trying to accept yourself, and you're not able to accept why I don't have that, why don't have that, to self-appreciation, right? I have many things in me, and that is what we need to. So my emotional intelligence theory says self-awareness is important. Who am I? Self-acceptance makes you little, shake you a little bit. Why I don't have that? Why I'm not getting that in life? But when I say self-appreciation, I think that's a wonderful stage for all of us. So just one thought. Think about it. Can we move from self-acceptance to self-appreciation? And you will see the huge neurological changes happening in the mind. I think let's bring right hand up, everyone, and bring left hand up for such a wonderful team. Wonderful.
Thank you,
Keep
Aparna.
Thank you.
Keep that.
Thank you, Aparna. It
Your
means a
batch
lot.
is over, but I still don't feel that you are away from us. Wonderful. Keep
Yeah,
that.
it's not over, Aparna. It's just the beginning. And yeah, as rightly quoted by you and Rohit as well, that we are not perfect, and even nature tells us that. So even a
Yes.
tiniest of the plant, if you see, two leaves are not identical, and
Absolutely.
even the biggest of the mountains, they are not identical. The same way we have just we have thought on those lines, but your awareness has give us a Balban moment right on.
Thank you so much.
We have another topic ready for our next webinar, if possible.
It together.
Self-acceptance to
Correct.
self-awareness. So
Yes.
that journey will continue.
Yeah. Sagar, you can stop
That
recording.
Aparna.
Yeah.